Hello everyone and welcome back to the Triad Pro-Am Summer League for 2014. I am Marcus Shockley with Netcast Sports Network. We are about to watch the tip between Ziglar Health Insurance and Triad Commercial Properties. Ziglar Health Insurance in the home whites, Triad Commercial Properties in the away jerseys, the dark blue. Tip about to happen between Will Koppenhaver and Andre Washington. And the 7-footer from Wake Forest wins the tip easily. And we are underway here on the last game on court number 1. And we will get into the rosters as the game progresses. And so right here in the first minute of action, deep outside shot by number 19, Alston Furr. No good. Washington able to save it. And William Hyatt is able to pick that ball up or grab that inbound pass from Andre Washington. Outside shot no good. Battle inside for the rebound. Shot no good. Andre Washington has the rebound fall on his lap. Tip pass to Cody Miller-McIntyre, and the Wake Forest point guard with an alley-oop slam. So we have several Wake Forest players, or 3 Wake Forest players, playing together on the home white and Ziglar Health Insurance team, and several Guilford College players playing on the away team. So this is almost a Wake Forest versus Guilford College. There's Madison Jones of Wake Forest inside, number 10. Nice little change of speed, and beats his man on the baseline and scores with the reverse layup. And that ties the game up at 4-all with 18:34 left to play. Deep outside shot is good by Hyatt. First day action here at the Triad Pro-Am. There's Andre Washington over to Madison Jones. Jones looking to penetrate. Drives, spins up over the top. Tried to get it to Washington at the last minute and wasn't successful. And so we're going the other way. Alston Furr, his shot no good. Koppenhaver with the rebound. Now back to Koppenhaver. Will Koppenhaver, 6'6", plays for Guilford College. And there's a stoppage in play. There was a call. I'm not sure what the call was. But we're going the other way. On the scoreboard, guest is the away Triad Commercial Properties team, and the home team is Ziglar Health Insurance. And that three-pointer is going to put Triad Commercial Properties up by 6 early going here. So here's Cody Miller-McIntyre, drives, and that's going to be a blocking call. They'll probably send Cody Miller-McIntyre to the line. Cody Miller-McIntyre, point guard for Wake Forest University. If you've watched any of the earlier games tonight, you know that the expected behavior is on the clock is running clock until the last 2 minutes, with the exception of timeouts, I believe. So that's why you're seeing the clock continuing to run even as McIntyre is on the line. Here's Cody Miller-McIntyre in transition, up over the top, no good. Andre Washington attempted to get the putback dunk and was not able to. Steal on the outside. Shot no good. That steal by Zachary Houston. And now Alston Furr able to get it back in. Alston Furr, also of Guilford College, and Zachary Houston, number 17. I'd like to invite you to follow Netcast Sports on Twitter at Netcast Sports. You can keep up with upcoming games and broadcasts. Here we go. Behind the back passes picked off by Andre Washington. Now up to Cody Miller-McIntyre. And McIntyre looking very strong early on, looking aggressive, looking to get to the basket here, and was able to get get not only the bucket, but looks like he's going to have the and one opportunity. Miller McIntyre played in Concord in high school, Concord, North Carolina, then went on to play at Hargrave Military Academy for his senior year, and now runs the point often for Wake Forest. Rebound by Miller McIntyre. Underneath in that shot. That pass was to David Reynolds, but no good. Going the other way. Washington with another rebound. It looks like he drew the foul. Got a push. Not a push, a hold. I can't quite hear every call there by the ref, so I'm trying to play a little catch up on the other end there. Looks like we've got substitution. Cortez Duncan out of High Point University with the ball there, number 50, often called Trey Duncan. Getaway foul. We've had multiple substitutions here on both teams, so we'll rotate in these guys. And one of those is Austin Horton, number 18, who's at the line. And Horton also plays for Guilford College and played his high school ball in Virginia, Hillsville, Virginia, at Carroll County High School. Second shot is good for Horton. Right now, the team dominated by Guilford College players has the lead. That shot is way off. So Triad Commercial Properties with a 6-point lead. Just over 13 minutes left to go. Horton gets in trouble. Gets it out to Logan Weathers. Back to Horton. Horton's shot is good, so Horton comes in firing. Hits that shot from the elbow and puts his team up by 8 early. Here's Trey Duncan out of High Point University. Drives. Finds his way through traffic. Gives it up and ends up outside to Cody Miller McIntyre. McIntyre looks to drive, then gives it up to Benaiah Wise. Now over to Trey Duncan. Duncan looked for a moment there like he wanted to go inside to Washington. Washington with a distinct size advantage at 7 feet, and he comes up with the rebound right there, and he's fouled. And I think the tallest player on Triad Commercial Properties is, if I'm not mistaken, is Copenhaver. Will Copenhaver at 6'6". So Washington at 7 foot is going to be a matchup problem all night. And right there on the line, he cuts the lead to 7 with his first free throw. Second shot rims out, rebounded by Logan Weathers. Now Alston Furr pushing the ball up. Here's McIntyre. Cody Miller McIntyre saw an opening in the defense, but it closed quickly. He gets it over to Trey Duncan. Now to the corner, shot no good. Rebound. Triad Commercial Property. And we've got Jared Rogers now running the point, number 8. Horton shot off. So Horton has definitely been hunting his shot here early in the game. And his team up by 9. 11 minutes left to go. Here's Cortez Duncan out of High Point University. Over to Cody Miller McIntyre. McIntyre looking, going inside over Alston Furr and scores. Jared Rogers now working against Madison Jones. And Jones picks him up full court, and they are now settling back into the half court. Deep outside shot there by Rogers. You're watching the 2014 Triad Pro-Am Summer League in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Cody Miller McIntyre. Uses the pick by Andre Washington to get himself open, and then hits that three-pointer on the outside, cuts the lead to 4. Inside to Horton. And that time Horton's shot blocked by the taller Andre Washington. The 7-footer gets an easy block. Then we've got some more roster changes here as we see Copenhagen coming back in, number 47. And David Randolph for Ziglar Health Insurance. He's also returning. Cody McIntyre running the point. Uses a change of direction to get inside, then feeds it back outside to David Randolph. Now over to Madison Jones. Jones wants to spin inside. Deep outside shot by Cody McIntyre. So McIntyre aggressively looking for his shot for the Ziglar Health Insurance team. We've got a foul on the floor. And that's going to send Alston Furr to the line. Alston Furr, who plays for Guilford College, played his high school ball at West Stokes in King, North Carolina, which is just north of Winston-Salem, where today's games are being played. First, second shot rims out. Rebounded by David Randolph. Now gets it up to Madison Jones. Jones looking to get it inside, then kicks it out. Outside shot is good. And just like that, Ziglar Health Insurance has taken a 1-point lead. And now they have the ball. Trey Duncan pushing it. Outside shot is again good, and now a 4-point lead for Ziglar Health Insurance. I believe that shot was hit by Cody McIntyre, so he aggressively looked for his shot in this game, and it's paid off for him. His team now leads by 4. And now with the ball and a chance to build on that lead. If you like watching Summer League action, these games take place throughout the month of July and at the Gateway YWCA in near downtown Winston-Salem. I believe this is the first year that they have had the Summer League games at this facility. The Summer League has been going on for several years, though, in the area. McIntyre doing a little heat check right there, shooting over 2 defenders. We've got a push. And it looks like it's going to be going back to Triad Commercial Properties. .640 left to play. Running clock until the last 2 minutes. Said Copenhagen, for one of the few times Copenhagen has not had to deal with the 7-foot frame of Andre Washington inside, and he gets inside and scores. A drive by Madison Jones up over the top and just wills that shot in, pushes his team's lead back out to 4. Now the other way. And we've got a foul, and that will result in free throws, I believe, for number 46, Charlie Wagner. Wagner's first shot, no good. So an empty trip there to the free throw line for Charlie Wagner. And now dunk on the other end by Cody Miller-McIntyre, who's been the story of the first half offense right now. Feed up, block. Rogers working, gets it over to Copenhagen. Copenhagen absorbs the contact up over the top and finishes. And Copenhagen is again aggressively looking for his shot inside now that the 7-footer Andre Washington is on the bench. Now here's Madison Jones driving, tries to push it over the top, and there's a foul call. Four and a half left to play. And it looks like we've got some substitutions coming on. Four-point lead for the home team, Ziglar Health Insurance, led by a trio of Wake Forest players. Steele, nope, my mistake. And it looks like we've got Washington back in. He was one of the subs that just came back in. There's a feed inside, and there's the presence of Washington once again being felt, this time by Charlie Wagner. And you know, when Washington was out of the game, Triad Commercial Properties went inside consistently, was able to score, but as soon as Washington comes back in, having a 7-footer in there definitely creates problems for the post game. So some nice rebounding. Looks like Ziglar Health Insurance was kind of kept napping as Washington was left to try to get that rebound by himself and was surrounded by 3 guys. So 2-point lead though. Here's Miller-McIntyre. Gets inside, gets cut off, gets it outside to Benaiah Wise. Wise's shot's no good, and we've got another call on the floor. So I would say this first half has been whistle heavy. 2-point lead now. Triad Commercial Properties looking to tie it up or take the lead on this possession. Horton up to Rogers. And Rogers working against Benaiah Wise. Benaiah Wise, number 6, plays for Bridgewater College, and his hometown is Greensboro, North Carolina, so right down the road from these games. But he's no doubt back home for the summer and getting in some summer league action. And I'm not clear on what the discussion is at this point. And it looks like we are going to have free throws. I'm a little confused on what is happening, but the result is that Jared Rogers is going to the line. And the clock is stopped. And now the clock has started again. So we've had a few issues this evening with clock operation, but I think that's just first night miscues, opening night miscues. But some great basketball action has been on display tonight. A lot of solid players, and I believe there will be more players next week or Thursday night. These games are taking place on Tuesdays and Thursdays throughout the month of July. And over the years, there have been several notable players that have played in this event, this summer league, including current LA Clipper Chris Paul. Over the top, no good. Jones had a good idea, but wasn't able to capitalize. And now Logan Weathers gets it up, and now we are in transition. Deep outside shot is good, and that gives Triad Commercial Properties a 3-point lead. Here's Madison Jones again, working. Wants to find an opening. Jones was able to beat Hyatt off the dribble, wasn't able to score. Now another 3. Washington just goes over the top of everyone for that rebound. Pushes it up, but ends up throwing the ball away. Zachary Houston, number 17, working against Benaiah Wise. Right now, no one on Triad Commercial Properties is able to find the bucket, and there's Logan Weathers with the drive. And it's a foul, but he's going to be inbounding the ball over the top. Just about half a minute to play. Washington with the rebound, pushing it up. And McIntyre's shot is short. Cody Miller-McIntyre, point guard from Lake Forest. And as we're running down to the end of the first half here, it looks like Cody Miller-McIntyre's team has it all knotted up. It looked like they had a little bit of a lead, but right now we're going into the half with a tie ball game, 30-all, under 10 seconds. We'll see if Triad Commercial Properties can score to go into the half. And there's Horton up and no good, and also no good from Zachary Houston. And that is going to be the end of the game, or end of the half. I apologize. And we'll be back after this. All right, we're back here in action for the second half at the 2014 Triad Pro-Am Summer League. Last game of the day on this court between Ziglar Health Insurance in the home white versus Triad Commercial Properties in the away jerseys, dark blue. Right now, as we start the second half, we're all knotted up at 30. And almost right away, we've got another foul on the floor. So first half was kind of full of fouls, a lot of whistles from the referees, and we started off our second half like that. The two teams that we're watching right now, in Ziglar Health Insurance in the white, features 3 current Wake Forest basketball players, and the away team, Triad Commercial Properties, features multiple Guilford College, a Division III school in Greensboro, North Carolina, just down the road. So this is almost like we're watching a bit of a college game. Most of the players in this game are actually current college players. I don't think that we have anybody who's a former college player, maybe a current pro, at least on the court for this game tonight. But we're underway, still knotted up at 30 with a minute gone in here in the second half. And here's Cody Miller-McIntyre, point guard for Wake Forest, getting the ball over to Chan Thornton, I believe. Now to the 7-footer, Andre Washington. He's going to take a deep outside shot. Looked like he was just inside the three-point line. I'm not really sure, but that shot rolls around and goes in. They give him a 2. And so they take a 2-point lead. Ziglar Health Insurance. Drive up and under, no good, and battle inside and score, and that ties the game back up at 32. So this game has been back and forth all night, and starting off the second half just like that. Here's Trey Duncan from High Point University over to Madison Jones, or sorry, not Madison, Cody Miller-McIntyre. Again with a deep shot. In the first half, Miller-McIntyre was actively looking for his shot. He's also started off this half the same way. And now Austin Furr drives, pulls up, and hits a 2-pointer just inside the 3-point line. That cuts the lead to 1. So neither team has been able to establish control of this game. And we'll see what happens here in the second half. Madison Jones to inbound. Over the top shot, no good. Rebound by Koppenhaver. Inside to Koppenhaver. He's working against Washington, thought better of it. Koppenhaver is 6'6", but even at 6'6", it's hard to play against a 7-footer like Andre Washington in the paint. So we are now back to Ziglar Health Insurance. Once again, my name is Marcus Shockley, and you're watching the Netcast Sports Network 2014 Triad Pro-Am Summer League from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Transition bucket right there puts Triad Commercial Properties back up by 2. Not sure what Cortez Duncan was trying to do there. Looked like he may have been trying to go behind his back. Koppenhaver finds a cutting teammate and score. And now a 4-point lead for Triad Commercial Properties. There's Miller McIntyre with the ball. Puts it over to Madison Jones. Jones looking to drive, looking to go over the top. Shot no good. Rebound by Zachary Houston. Over to Austin Furr. Deep outside shot by Furr. It's off the front of the rim. And it will go back to Ziglar Health Insurance. On the scoreboard, Ziglar is the home team and Triad Commercial Properties is the guest. Inbound, now here's Benaiah Wise running the point. That's going to send David Randolph to the line. We've got another foul call here. Austin Furr to inbound. Being defended by Cody Miller McIntyre. Now here's Jared Rogers. Works it into Austin Horton. So active play there inside, and that pushes the lead out to 5. For Triad Commercial Properties. And there's a turnover. And David Randolph, number 41, able to get in that passing lane and steal the ball, but tried to push it out, and the transition pass was too far out in front of Tashan Thornton. And so we are headed, now the ball is going back to Triad Commercial Properties. Triad Commercial Properties playing as the away team in this game, up by 5. Jared Rogers and Zachary Houston discussing it as they come up. Zachary Houston. There's Logan Weathers. There's the corner. Shot is good, and now we have a 7-point lead for Triad Commercial Properties. There's Miller McIntyre. Has handled the bulk of the scoring for his team in this game so far. And Jared Rogers. Thornton found himself in trouble, gives it back out to Miller McIntyre. Thornton able to keep possession, up over the top, no good. Inside shot is good for Zachary Houston. Zachary Houston out of St. Stephen's High School in Hickory, North Carolina, currently playing for Guilford College. And his shot puts his team back up by 7. Now he's going Miller McIntyre with a deep outside 3. Looks like the defender may have gotten a piece of that on the way up. Just over 12 minutes left to play here. Triad Commercial Properties up by 7. Running clock until the last 2 minutes. First night action here at the Triad Pro-Am for 2014. Ball knocked out of bounds, is going to stay on this end of the floor. Over the top to Austin Horton. Rebound by Miller McIntyre, and he gets it up to Madison Jones. You know, we haven't seen Madison Jones be able to use his speed as much as he did in the first game. We saw him in earlier tonight, where he was able to get a lot of open transition points and use his quickness to get to the bucket and score. Seems like Triad Commercial Properties has done a good job getting back to cut off those open lanes, those open drives. Here's Washington. Washington turns, spins, goes over the top, scores, and the 7-footer scores and draws a foul. And it looks like he's going to have the opportunity for the and one, the three-point play, the old-fashioned way, as they like to say. His team down by 5, and he's got a chance here to cut the lead. And Koppenhaver is coming back in for Triad Commercial Properties, the only player on Triad Commercial Properties with any kind of size at the center position at 6'6", but even he has been having problems with the 7-footer. Washington. And Washington's free throw cuts the lead to 4. Now Washington coming all the way out to guard at the point before dropping back into the lane. Deep outside 3 is good. 48-41 now. Feed over to Miller McIntyre. Change of speed, up, under, draws contact, not able to score, but draws the foul. And that will send Cody Miller McIntyre to the line with his team down by 7. Once again, we have a running clock, so even though he's at the free throw line, the clock is not stopping until the last 2 minutes. Under normal circumstances, common for Summer League around the country, common for AAU around the country. And McIntyre's second shot is good because that lead to 5. So Triad Commercial Properties, they'd like to maintain this lead with just over 9 minutes left to play. Logan Weathers' shot rims out. Andre Washington with the rebound. And here's Madison Jones. Benaiah Wise out of Bridgewater College with the outside shot, and that cuts the lead to 2. Rebound by David Randolph, gets it up to Miller McIntyre, who gets it over to Benaiah Wise. This time Benaiah Wise's shot does not fall. Still a 2-point lead for Triad Commercial Properties. Battle inside. Koppenhaver able to keep possession, I think, by throwing it off the defender. Nope, looks like he wasn't successful. Looked like he was pretty close to that line, so I'm not surprised. Good hustle play by him, but just not able to keep it in bounds. So back over to Ziglar Health Insurance, who are trailing by 2 with 7:44 left to play here. McIntyre working against Austin Furr, gets it into Washington. Washington turns, shoots over the top, no good. Rebound by Austin Furr. Shot is good, and that pushes the lead back out to 5 again for Triad Commercial Properties. Jones over to Miller McIntyre. Miller McIntyre's shot is short. And looks like the clock has stopped, but they started up again. With a running clock, it's not the same as a normal college or high school game where you can wait down from 2 and 3 minutes where the clock becomes a factor with a lead. At this point, though, somewhere around the 5 to 6 minute mark can become problematic because of that running clock. And what we're seeing right now is there's a timeout on the floor. I'd like to invite everyone to follow Netcast Sports on Twitter at Netcast Sports, where you can keep updated with all the games as we announce them, and replays and on-demand games, AAU, Pro-Am Summer Leagues like we have here. And in addition, you can go to netcastsports.com where you can sign up for the mailing list. And it's not a mailing list, it's not a spam list or anything like that. It's just basically people who want to be notified when broadcasts are released or any news coming out from Netcast Sports. And you can sign up for that mailing list, and several people have done that, and they are in the know, so to speak, on game start. So, once again, I'm Marcus Shockley with Netcast Sports Network, and you are watching the 2014 Triad Pro-Am Summer League. And we're watching game number 2 on Court 1. Final game we are broadcasting today, and this game is available on demand. And you can watch several more of the upcoming games on Netcast Sports and on our YouTube channel. And that shot gives Triad Commercial Properties a 7-point lead with 6:35 left to play. And although, as I said, the clock not quite becoming a factor, with that running clock, it can become, we're about 2 minutes away from it becoming an issue for Ziglar Health Insurance, and they need some points. And this isn't helping so much when you have a stoppage in play and the clock continues to run. So Ziglar Health Insurance in the home whites looking to get some buckets here with just over 6. Jones inbounds to Miller McIntyre. He drives, tries to get it over to Andre Washington, and that ball is slapped away out of bounds. It will stay with Ziglar Health Insurance. One thing you have to do is give credit to Triad Commercial Properties defense tonight. They've been active, and they've figured out a way to battle inside against the 7-foot size of Andre Washington, who you're seeing right now as they collapse on him with 2 players, and he does draw the foul. But Triad Commercial Properties has had to deal with the speed of Madison Jones, the strength and control, body control, and outside shooting of Cody Miller McIntyre, and the pure size and length of Andre Washington at 7 feet. And they've been able to do so right now with a 7-point lead. And here's Andre Washington at the line with a chance to cut into that lead. But the clock continues to run, so even though he's got a chance here for some points from the charity stripe, it's kind of a double-edged sword. It looks like they gave him a 1-and-1. And 5 minutes left to go. He does hit the front end of that 1-and-1. Cuts the lead to 6. So now the lead down to 5, and 4:40 left to play. Triad Commercial Properties with the ball. Copenhagen gives it up to Alston first. We're working against Cody Miller McIntyre. Now over to Zachary Houston. And Ziglar Health doing a good job keeping those driving lanes closed up. Outside shot no good. And looks like Tyler Crouch came up with the ball there from Lenore Ryan. And we've got another call on the floor, and that's going to be a charge. So right now, Ziglar Health Insurance, the clock has become a factor. With 4 minutes left to go, they're down by 5, so 2 possessions. And with a running clock, this is sort of where we're getting into crunch time. And all of this time is being taken off the clock as we have substitutions, and you can see David Randolph there telling them that we need to get it going. You guys are just letting the clock bleed off. So Miller McIntyre picks up Zachary Houston deep. And Rogers working with Jones. Drive. It looks like Madison Jones slapped the ball away, but Zachary Houston picks up the loose ball and scores, and that pushes the lead back out to 7. Deep outside shot is good, and that will help cut the lead back to 4 with 3 minutes left to play. So quite a manageable deficit right now for Ziglar Health Insurance, and for Triad Commercial Properties, they really can't just go into a stall game at this point. They've got to get some more points, and that shot no good. Rebound by Tyler Crouch. He's had a couple of big rebounds here in the last minute. shot no good. Rebound. Ends up with Rogers. Picked up in the back court, but able to beat the pressure. Now here's Houston. Dribbles it off his foot. Over to Miller McIntyre, who goes up and dunk. So nice little back and forth action between Madison Jones and Cody Miller McIntyre. Playing each other well in the transition game. That cuts the lead to 2 with 2:15 left to play, and there's a foul. And that will either set Zachary Houston to the line for a 1-and-1 or an inbounds play. Looks like it's going to be an inbounds play. 2 minutes left to go, so now we've got ability for the clock to stop, and it does. So I would say Ziglar Health Insurance, even though they've trailed the last 5 or 6 minutes, they're in good position. You've got a stoppage of the clock. Once again, you're watching the 2014 Triad Pro-Am Summer League. I am Marcus Shockley with Netcast Sports Network, and we are coming to you from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Triad Pro-Am Summer League takes place throughout July, and the last week of July will feature the playoffs and the championship game, which we will be rebroadcasting as well. We have several other games coming up for you. This game, there's games every Tuesday and Thursday from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Gateway YWCA, just south of Winston-Salem, downtown Winston-Salem. So we're here wrapping up the first night's action. Under 2 minutes left to play. Here's Zachary Houston working against Cody Miller McIntyre over to Logan Weathers. Weathers beats Andre Washington off the dribble and gets to the line. So even though the clock has stopped, here's where these free throws become important for Weathers and Triad Commercial Properties with only a 2-point lead. And his first shot is short. Second shot for Logan Weathers is good. That pushes the lead out to 3. Still a one-possession game here. Cody Miller McIntyre working, drives. Gets it inside to Tyler Crouch. Great feed, driving feed by Miller McIntyre, and then Tyler Crouch finishes it off, and that cuts the lead to 1. Here's Zachary Houston working against Miller McIntyre. Logan Weathers. Back inside the Weathers. Battling. Thinks better of it against the 7-footer. And there's a steal in the open court. And we've got Cody Miller McIntyre up, under, and good. And he gets the foul call with under a minute left to play. Puts his team up by 1, and he's going to the line. Clock is stopped, but that is a huge play in the last minute by Cody Miller McIntyre. And as I said, most of the game, Cody Miller McIntyre has sort of been the engine of his team. And he's powered his team to a 1-point lead now after trailing most of this second half. And he's got a chance to put his team up by 2 if he can finish off this 3-point play. And he does. So big time play there by Cody Miller McIntyre. Under a minute left to go now. Triad Commercial Properties trailing now by 2. They've got to find some offense. Andre Washington comes back out to the point, but then drops back into the lane again. Inside to Koppenhaver, but he kicks it out, and there is a foul call. And now, just about half a minute left to go in this game. 2-point lead for Ziglar Health Insurance, the home team. Inbound to Cody Miller McIntyre, the point guard for Wake Forest. He wants to walk it up. There's no reason to hurry at this point. They've got the lead and the ball, and there's no shot clock. So it's up to Triad Commercial Properties to either foul or make him get with the ball, and they looks like they fouled him, and it's going to be free throws. So Cody Miller McIntyre has become a one-man machine here at the end of the game to put his team up. And the first, he hits the front end of that 1-1, and that puts his team up by 3 with 23.4 left on the clock. Final seconds here. And second shot by Miller McIntyre, no good, but the damage has probably been done. 20 seconds, 3-point lead. Looking probably for a three-pointer here. And they hit one, and that cuts it, it ties it up 59 to 59. 10 seconds, and there's a foul in the backcourt by Austin Horton. And I believe that should be a 1-1, but I am not sure. And that will be a foul, and it's putting the man of the hour, Cody Miller McIntyre, on the line with 8 seconds left. And I'm not clear why Triad Commercial Properties fouled in that situation with the game being tied, but maybe they're looking to play the possession game, put Cody Miller on the line, and then get the ball back. And so far it pays off. Cody Miller McIntyre unable to hit that first shot. Shooting 2, though. I said a 1-1 earlier, but I was incorrect. He's actually shooting 2. Tied up at 59. 8 seconds left to go. Here's a big free throw here for Cody Miller McIntyre. And he purposely misses it. And crashing for the rebound is David Randolph. And I believe he was able to draw the foul. And that will send him to the line. So a big rebound by David Randolph. And he, even though he wasn't able to secure the rebound, he did get the shot off and was fouled. And so now with 6.6 seconds left to play, Ziglar Health Insurance has another chance to put this game away, or at least make it much more difficult for Triad Commercial Properties to finish this off. David Randolph at the line. And his first shot is short, and right now Ziglar Health Insurance just cannot seem to buy a free throw when they need it the most. David Randolph, second shot. Good, and that puts Ziglar Health Insurance up by 1. 1-point lead. Racing up the floor, 1 second left. Shot up and no good, and that's the game 60 to 59 in favor of Ziglar Health Insurance. And thank you for joining us. I'm Marcus Shockley with Netcast Sports.